Are you trying to get your shift together?
Welcome to the Shift Sisters podcast, where real conversations inspire real transformations. We're not experts, but we're experiencers. I'm Sandra.
And I'm Jennifer Richter.
We're your Shift Sisters.
Whether you're shifting like a sloth or it looks like you're having an exorcism, this is your space to breathe, reflect, and remember. We're here to talk shift with you.
Hey there, welcome again to our continuing series of holiday shift support. I am your host, Sandra, and as always, I have the beautiful Jennifer Richter co-hosting with me. Hello.
Thank you. Hello.
So we are going to continue this journey, my friends, on supporting ourselves during the holiday season and all of the tools that we have that we can put together in our peace toolbox. So today, the focus is going to be on rituals. So some of us implement rituals. I know you and I, Jennifer, both have different rituals that we use. And this might be a new concept to some folks listening. And this is really going to help you just think about yourself on a daily basis in terms of what your needs are, how you're feeling, and what you could do to help support yourself. So this is not just for the holiday event or the Thanksgiving dinner. This is for
Life.
Your continual, exactly,
support.
For life. It's for your continual support, really. So that is our goal for today. And so at the end of this episode, I want us to ask ourselves, what are some ways that I can pour back into my cup so I'm grounded for the holidays? So think about your preferences, what you typically do, or what really resonates with you at this time. So it's a question we're going to answer at the end. But before we do that, we're going to do obviously our opening rituals and just check in and see where we are. Jennifer, in terms of your shift forecast, how are you doing today?
Oh my goodness. I haven't looked. Let me look. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just kind of been in it, right? Like, and I haven't done a check-in with myself. And you're right. It's one of those things where you get so busy, you do forget to do that check-in. And if you don't have like a check-in buddy, so to speak, like, I think you and I are really good at doing that together, but like, let's see here. I'm going to look here on my shift mood forecast. I am feeling, man, I just love these. I need to print it and put it up somewhere.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the lunar glow, intuitive, dreamy, and energetically full. I'm still like a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
But when I say a lot, it's like a lot more than normal.
Yeah.
It's just flowing through. It's not overwhelming me, but it is making me become dreamy about like all the things that are going to bloom and blossom from all of these things that are coming in, all the good energies that are coming in. And maybe it's because I'm journaling more. You've really taught me how to embrace. Like I've always been a firm believer of writing things down, because not only does it give me a place to brain dump so I don't have to keep it all in here.
Yes.
If I ever go back at any of my journals, all the stuff always came to be, right? The ones that I had energy behind and love, and it's a form of manifestation in a sense.
Sure.
Even if it's my meal list. I made that meal because I wrote it down, right? But like, I feel like so much more of the things that I'm really preferring are coming into my life even faster now, but I'm attributing to the journaling.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. I think definitely when you put something out there, whatever it is, in speech, in writing, in art, and all of that, it really has a stronger vibration to it. So, so today I'm feeling a full rainbow, which is all the feelings at once, and it's all beautiful. And I want to throw in a little bit of sunshine in there, so the sunshine and the rainbow kind of corresponding together, because life is always busy for me, and there's always something that's pulling me in different directions. And I'm really walking with this idea of embracing all of it. So even though I'm overwhelmed, I don't want it to put me in a place of being broken down. So this is all the things that are on my plate, and I'm going to get to it, but giving myself some grace and, welcoming it all to the table, and really just trying to put that positive sun on it as well.
It's like that quality problem, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's the type of
exactly.
problems you want to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's a good spot. It's a good spot, and I love the festive colors. We are
Mhm.
in the spirit, my friend.
Yes.
So, in addition to our check-in, let's talk about what we're sipping on today. What's your shift sip today, my friend?
I had a craving for, it's basically like golden milk and hot cocoa had a baby,
Mm.
right? So it's a golden hot cocoa, and it's really just the two combinations of those things. But turmeric is just so amazing for like anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
And busy times, it's really easy to get tense and a headache and eye pressure and all of these things. And so, kind of like what you were talking about, like to be more preventative
Yeah.
with your protect your peace tools, I am trying to incorporate turmeric in different ways because I do notice that it does give me a benefit. And so I'm trying to be more mindful of that. And so this was a fun way to add it in.
I love that idea. Excuse me, having those supports, and think about it like just little things. If you're dehydrated, you're like
Mm,
all over the place. We're probably going to indulge a little bit in too many sweets, right?
mhm.
So if you have, turmeric to help with inflammation and all of those different things, that could be really supportive.
I mean, look at this. This is what years of dehydration looks like. WTF lines is what that is. Drink your hydration, your Celtic sea salt water.
Yes,
And
all
then
of
you
those
look like
things.
Sandra, beautiful and flawless.
Oh, well, thank you, friend. Oh, thank you. So I'm in the same vein. Um, I have here a beet pomegranate spritzer.
Mm,
So it's the beets and the pomegranate. I really want to help with my circulation, so the blood flow in my body, which also helps with my energy. And
mm,
I'm dealing with some lipedema, so I'd always love to find ways to just get the stuff flowing, all the things flowing.
yeah.
And so it's beetroot powder, pomegranate juice, and I put orange seltzer. And it's
Mm,
Oh, I didn't need anything syrupy or sweet. This is just
sure.
so refreshing. And I feel like I just feel really hydrated with it.
It is
This is,
very Christmassy, and I love that. Like the holiday season too, and the color. Like I drink mine in a wine glass because,
hmm,
I always like to fancy it up just a little bit.
right.
Yes, you don't do that?
I know. I need to do this.
Yes, so I always put them like when I make something like that in a wine glass or a stemless wine glass or whatever, and it just makes it feel a little more fancy.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love a little flair to things. You know
Yes.
me, girl.
Hmm.
So I don't know why I don't drink out of a wine glass. And
Well, you
it
will
looks like
now.
wine, like
I
it's
guarantee you,
totally,
you will. Oh, that's still a fancy glass, so you're
it
good.
is, it
You
is,
got the
but
fancy going on.
I need the wine glass to talk. Wonderful. In the sense of support, let's talk about essential oil support. What do you
Yeah,
got for
the
us, friend?
scents that shift us. I typically will talk about a single individual oil, but this is an oil that you can get at the holiday times. And so I always stock up because sometimes I like to gift it or whatever, but it's actually called Holiday Joy. Who knows if it'll focus here, but it's Holiday Joy, which during the holidays, I don't always feel so much joy. And so I think that's why I was kind of gravitating towards it when it first came out, because there's one that's holiday peace as well, which is like smells like you're walking through a forest, Christmas forest, which is awesome. But this one has a blend of wild orange, clove, cassia, Siberian fir, frankincense, ginger, and balsam fir, not balsamic vinegar. No, no, no. I'm getting my recipes mixed up there. But in the grand scheme of things, wild orange enhances like the emotions of abundance, right? Clove helps with boundaries. Cassia helps with self assurance, which sometimes going into these family events or just holiday events in general, you might not be so sure of yourself and need a little boost that way. Siberian fir is about perspective and generational healing. So, a lot of the times, a lot of memories come up, a lot of habits and triggers and things during the holidays. So, that helps. Frankincense is truth, oil of truth. Ginger is for empowerment, and balsam fir is uplift to the mood. So, in general, if you think about all those things individually, those are the things that I need for support during the holiday to help me have that joy and to switch that perspective of mine, right? So, That's what I am using.
Oh, that's awesome. It's definitely good to just slather that on, during this time. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't have to wait until you're in full need, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes I tend to grab things when I'm in the moment, and when you start feeling the shoulders rise a little bit, or
Mm-hmm.
you're feeling that, like, okay, I'm snapping a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you have a full meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
Put that oil on or that music,
Yeah,
or
diffuse the whole house.
do whatever you need to do to help support. Wonderful. So before we dive into specific rituals and how they can support you during the season, I want to talk about why rituals hold such power.
Mm-hmm.
In its simplest form, rituals are not just routines. They are crafted to give you those moments to be back in the present,
To
right?
create the ambiance, right? The energy, the mood.
Absolutely. And I think it's an intentional act. It's You could fill your afternoon with 10,000 different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But stopping and taking a bath is an intentional act. And
That's true.
it's an intentional act of love, because once again, with a family and a career and all the things that are happening in your world, you can, go and clean, something in the house, but making that time really helps to understand that there's much more greater things than the chaos
Mhm.
all around us.
Yeah.
That we are our most important asset. We are our most important vessel. So that's important to do that. Rituals tap into the mind body connection. So
Mm-hmm.
with some of the rituals that we're doing, when we're doing something intentional like deep breathing or lighting a candle or stepping outside, we are shifting our brain from the disorganization and the stress and the chaos to some calm and clarity. So just looking at a candle flame and setting an intention, walking on the grass and feeling that under your feet, all of that really just help you to get that grounding. It evokes that mindfulness. Sometimes we are so caught up in the superficial brain. So my to-do list, I have to make that doctor's appointment, I have to go in and make dinner, as opposed to mindfully appreciating and doing these rituals. So you can incorporate rituals with your tasks. So think about, you've talked about I know, Jen, you're a big cook, you love cooking and making things and being in the kitchen. And that can be used mindfully. You can sit there and really savor things and look at things and smell things and get really involved, as opposed to, let me throw some chicken nuggets in the air fryer and get the dinner going on the table. So the goal here is to take a moment to pause, to and to realign with yourself, not just right before the holiday event or all of that, but on a daily basis. Because it's, as we do our check-ins for all of our podcast episodes, you should do the same for yourself on a daily basis.
Well, you're so right, because, you were talking about how you could journal and write out what you want your perfect holiday to look like. And it's something that's kind of been on my heart for the last few years. And I've been fantasizing about what I really want from my heart, right? Like, why am I so irritated or dissatisfied or whatever with the holiday experiences that we are having? And I realize what I really want more than anything is, I just love when we all can just, like, our whole family can just cook in the kitchen and listen to music and laugh, and there's no time frame, and it's not proper. Everybody doesn't have to be dressed fancy, and you don't have to have a meal on the table at a specific time, and you don't have to clean it up right after you eat it, and all this stressful, like, formal proper hosting stuff. It brings me zero joy. It actually puts me in the negative.
Yeah.
But having everybody cook together and it just be casual and fun and no pressure, that's speaks so much to my heart. And just like what you said, is it doesn't have to be just for the holidays. And it's actually been something that I haven't done for the holidays yet, but I've been incorporating into our daily life, like our normal life. Even though it doesn't happen on an every single day basis, it happens at least 1 or 2 times a week, where me, Adam, Ashton, Charlotte, we're all in the kitchen cooking together, everybody has their part, and we're like laughing and talking about all these things. And it does bring me so much joy, but it confirms so much more that I do want my holidays to be that way as well. And so I'm excited to see how we can, like you said, incorporate more of the ritual into the task.
Absolutely. And that can also lead to traditions, creating more different traditions than what you grew up with. And what really fills you back up, as opposed to, as you said, the formal dinner and sitting down with the fancy outfits, like that doesn't fill you. So what does, and how can we shift that? So what we need to do is to start, before we even get to a ritual, we need to start with a check-in. We need to really deep dive into where are we, because that can help guide what kind of rituals are needed. Now, a daily check-in will measure where you are, your needs, even like your energy at that time as well. And as I mentioned, we use the shift forecast as a way to do that. And I encourage our shifties who are listening, print out that document, use it on a daily basis. And maybe you can even predict the weather in the, for the next couple of days if you have those certain patterns that happen. But I think it's important for us to just stop saying that we're fine, because fine is just it's just so middle of the road. Empty. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So let's really get into the heart and see, where are we today? What am I needing more support in? Because if you can't define it, you can't help it. So in order to make sure that you are giving yourself the proper support, we have to take a moment and say, what am I feeling in my emotional self, in my physical self, and really getting a sense of where that is. That's your baseline. So daily check-ins is one. Number two is energy checks. So we talked about, our energy economy, right? So where am I today? Am I in the red? Am I neutral, or am I in the green? Did I wake up feeling like I could take over the world, or did I wake up feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders? And that energetic check-in will also help you to realize the ritual that is needed today is not what I typically do. I might need to shift and do something else, or I might need to really pour into certain energy categories so that I can be in a place of neutrality, as opposed to being in the negative. So those two type of things will help you just get a sense of, where am I in my daily check-in, in the here and the now, and then energetically, how much do I have in my account? How much can I spend? Because if you're already in the negative, you're not going to have the emotional energy, or any energy to do a ritual. You want to make sure that you have kind of a good sense of those two things. So those are two tools that we'd like to share with you on that. Now, we want to talk about some of the things that you should do to start helping you also check in, but this is going to be something a little more in depth. So we have, as our listeners know, our shift activations. Our shift activations are journal prompts or activities or invitations to help you deep dive into what's happening in your inner world. And some of it is very specific to specific topics. And there are times that I've just brain dumped, or I've just emotionally dumped. And that might just be all over the place. And it gives you a sense of what your inner temperature of the weather report is. And sometimes you need to do that every now and then and just say, this is all the things that are in my heart and weighing on me. And sometimes just naming it is just so relieving, right? Like, I don't know if, you've done it, Jennifer, where it's just like getting it all out. And then now it's out of my being. I don't have to deal with it now. I can deal with it tomorrow. It gives you that pause that you need for a breath. So let's talk about shift activations and journal prompts and the importance of these. I'm a huge writer. I love journal prompts, and I love getting creative with it, just because that's how I express myself. And, I've talked to emotions, I've given colors, personalities. I've done so many things to help me understand and to support myself. So what I want to do is just provide some more information on the importance of these journal and shift activations that we offer. So for number one, it provides a safe space for self-expression. There are so many places that we just feel like we are not able to express ourselves. So obviously at work, within your family dynamics, and this is a place where you can sit. No one else is going to read this. No one else needs to even know that it exists. And your full truth is what's between you and that paper. So letting go of all of the things that are knots in your stomach or knots in your shoulders, letting go of the things that are trapped in your throat that you can't release and it like tightens your tongue, letting go of the tears that you are holding back is the purpose of this journal. So that's active self-expression, fully, truly, completely. That is the one thing that I encourage and I really urge anyone who is journaling, is that there should be no barriers at all. You should be able to be 100% free because it is yours and no one is going to take that away from you. Put a lock on it if you are afraid if people are going to read it, or put it in a space that's sacred to you. But really make this as, your book of healing, truly, as you start this journal practice. The next one is it fosters self-awareness and clarity. I cannot tell you how many times I was incredibly overwhelmed with the thoughts in my head because of A, B, C, all the things that happen in a daily basis. So work and my husband and my family and all the things that are taking place. So the fostering of self-awareness and clarity just really helps me to take those individual things and unravel them. It doesn't mean that it gives each one of those separate things its own life to breathe, as opposed to everything trying to get through the same door frame and getting stuck in the threshold. So right now it's unsticking those things and making sure that we are in a space of clarity and not necessarily confusion or issue or anything like that. All right, so let's go into the second reason why journal prompts and shift activations can really be support for one another. So one of the things that it does for me is it also helps with clarity and self-awareness. I cannot tell you how many times I just am spiraling and I say to myself, I don't know if I'm upset because it's emotionally driven, if it's something driven from work, if it's something about my husband, if it's something about, anything. And when you write it down, when you put all the things in your brain onto paper, it's like taking that big ball of yarn that's tangled and mangled and you just lay it all out and it's like, oh, that's really organized and beautiful. I get it now. So with our shift activations, it's really asking you to identify certain things within the topics that we share. It's helping you to see with clarity, what am I bringing to this and what is actually outside of me? So that kind of clarity is important when journaling and putting in those shift activation homework. So another thing that these journal prompts do is to help you cultivate gratitude. I cannot tell you how many times. So when I talked about writing everything out, I then start to shift a bit and say to myself, the problem isn't as big as I thought it was, because when it's in your head, it's major and it's huge and you're ruminating over it. But when you put it on paper, you can put actionable items. And then you realize, for me, I've realized how supported I am. I have all these resources. I can do all these things. And even if you start to write something where it's, overwhelming and negative, in my experience, the more I write about it, it starts to like clear up a bit. The muck, clears up a bit, and then it's like clear water. So that process in that shift activation is truly there to help you and support you as well.
Yep. Well, I'm not as organized and fancy in my writing. Look like I'm throwing up on paper when I write my shift activation responses, because I don't want to have to structure or limit myself. Like literally whatever just comes to the surface, even if it's not in a full sentence or if it's just random words, I just dump it on the paper to get it all out first, kind of like what you were saying, right? To give yourself that space. But then I look at it and reflect. And then sometimes after looking at it and reflecting, I do organize it in my head, but then I can kind of see how I really feel about something
Yeah.
or what the situation really is as a whole, because I'm looking at it from a step back.
Yes.
And then I actually rewrite it with my new perspective.
That I love that. And I think it also shows us that there is no formula to this, right? Like some people write a list of words. Like these are
Sure.
the 10 words that I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
I used to do webbing, right? So I would put something in the middle, like the major problem. And then there's like, what is the next level to that problem? What is the next level to that? And that is a more visual way of,
Sure.
of journaling, because it's not full sentences or a story or a poem or any of that. So there's just so many ways to do it, and you have to, do what feels right for you.
Yeah.
So another thing that journaling can do is it reinforces intentions and goals. So when you think about when we talked about boundary setting, so my intention is that these are the boundaries when I walk into this family event or this holiday party that will not be crossed, or I will make sure are clear. So it makes things very concrete, and it reinforces that for you. So you do go in strong, stronger, and with your, posture a little more erect. Like you want to make sure that you come in with as much support that you have, and having those intentions and goals on paper will help you with that. Some of the shift activations or journal prompts they act as a release valve. I cannot tell you how many times that I just want to scream and shout, that I want to tear up, throw things, and having an opportunity to release steam in a healthy way is just such a blessing, and it's so therapeutic, because you can put into writing all the things you can't say sometimes, right? And if you're upset at your boss, if you're upset at someone,
You can be like, use all the things that are inappropriate.
yes, all the things, all the things.
That does make me feel better.
It does. It can make you feel better. And once again, when you put it on into words, you're saying to yourself, I could have handled this differently. I'm really, my energy is low. I'm dehydrated. I'm hungry. You don't realize how much you are affected by so many other factors around. And this is
Yeah.
why I said the importance of self-care in a high stress environment like the holiday season, prior to the actual like event or whatever is happening, is critical, because there's just gonna be so much going on. There's gonna be
It's
so much going
true.
on.
I'm going to spend like a Sunday and I'm going to do my calendar, and every event that I see, I'm going to plug a self-care day in front of it and behind it.
Yep, absolutely.
Because if I don't put it on the calendar, it absolutely won't happen.
Yeah, yes. Self-care sandwich, right? So
Yes. Oh, yes.
you have the day before and the day after, and then obviously what's in the middle. Just make sure that you are, and I love the fact that you said putting it on the calendar, and we're going to talk about that later,
Okay.
because that's a big piece of all of this. Shift activations also boost mindfulness and presence. It's so interesting because your body is so smart. And I remember sharing with my friend, I have this really wonderful friend in Germany, and we were talking about the end of the year. And she said, every end of the year, I start to tense up. My body tenses up, and it's your body speaking your emotions, right? It's like, hey, if we're not talking about it, I'm going to make you feel it. And we started just having a long conversation about why. Why is that? Why do we get emotional during this time? What is it in a general sense and a specific sense to each one of us? And instead of your body kind of rattling you and physically manifesting like, give me attention, you need to stop and focus on this journal prompts or journaling and the activations really help you sit with it before it becomes this knock knock knock, hey Sandra, you need to get it back on track of giving me attention. So that's another good example of the importance of this. Two more. So tracks your growth and progression. I cannot tell you, I don't even know what the word is, but I get so much, for some reason, joy is the word that comes up when I look at journals from 2013 and you read where you were at that time. And, some of my stuff is super dark or super, and I say, God, blessed be, I am at a wonderful place right now. The growth that I've made, the steps that I've taken, the bravery that I needed. And you sit there and you just say to yourself, I have such gratitude to be where I am today based on where I was then.
Yep.
So, tracking growth and progression, I think, is a wonderful one. And finally, it encourages creative reflection. So, yes, you can brain dump all the things, and then when I brain dump like that, I tend to start to favor one of those points, right? And I start thinking, how am I going to help this one situation? Or I'm really interested in exploring this more. So there's like this creative process. And sometimes, as I said, it might be a list for me where I'll just make bullet points. Sometimes it's the webbing where it's like, this is the circumstance, because I don't want to write in full sentences sometimes. Other times it's in a narrative, like, I make up a story of me in my own life where I'm imagining things and saying, I wish I could change the narrative of what it was to this. So you can get really creative. There is no rule to journaling. And if you wanted to create this fantasy world, then do it. That's going to be your way of processing. So understand that there are no limitations. You can do it in any way that speaks to you. You can include artistic things. You can, do all of that. You can even do, have music as a part of all of this, and create playlists to help you through some of this as well. Because, girl, when I'm sad, I'm a wallower. I
want moody blues. I want it to be soulful and screamy, like from your soul.
Yes.
Your playlist meets you where you're at and walks with you.
That is, it's the power of music. And sometimes I will have it on the background while I'm writing to like support me, because there's music out there that either primes me for journaling, right? Where I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to it and the tears want to fall and I'm like, okay. Or music that pumps me. And it's like, I'm journaling and I hear the song and I'm like, you know what? I got this. I have it. Oh yes, I'm going to fix this.
It's your pep rally.
Yes. It is my cry song, or my, this is going to be, I'm going to be able to overcome. And I think using all of these tools, a lot of them we talk about on our podcast and in our tool kits that we offer, especially with the activations and some of the other supports that we offer, really can help you do that daily check-in and really help you see, okay, I am here. And now that I'm going into this new season, I am going to make myself just holistically supported in all the ways so that I can just move in my strength and in my light. So.
Well, I'm going to challenge, or really not even challenge. I hate challenges. That's stupid. Let's do an invitation, because you're invited. If you don't want to come, don't come. But I want to invite our shifties. Not only will they create their favorite self-care things to make their Protect Your Peace go bag, do another holiday event that is set up for after Christmas, right? So in between Christmas and New Year's, and get your group of shift sisters together and do a journal exchange. And the journal is completely blank inside, right? But some of them could have lines, or if it already has bullet points, or if it's completely blank on the page, or if it has a lock on it, or if it's made of leather. It doesn't matter. But it's like a gift exchange, like you would do at Christmas time, but of just journals. And then you all exchange journals and you guys do the shift activations in your journals.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. And
tag us, because dude, we want to see these journals. I'm a journal, like, office supply nerd.
I am 100% with you. I want to see those pictures. Yes. So shifties, if you do this, I want to see pictures of your circle of of
Oh,
your sisters.
yes.
And I want to see how you are doing this together and in community, and even little
I
videos
want
if
to
you
see
want
a
to send
grounded
them.
guys group doing it
Yeah.
with those deep leather journals that are bound in masculinity. Like,
Yes.
do it, man. I want to see it. I mean, what's the harm in doing the work? You might grow and enjoy and love your life a little bit. Oh my God, that's so horrible.
I tell you, doing the work really, the outcome is just so rich. So that's another great invitation. I love that. So so we talked about our check-ins. We talked about the importance of doing the shift
Mm-hmm.
activations and what the journal prompts really mean. And now we need to make sure that we are not in fight or flight all the time.
Mm.
Because I tell you, sometimes you just touch me on my shoulder and I'm already like,
Yep.
and you give me a little bit too much caffeine and I'm about to like punch you in the throat. Or I have certain allergies to things, and if I
Hulk
can't
out.
have oatmeal, girl, you give me some oatmeal, I'm
Don't be
about to
making
like,
this girl Christmas oatmeal cookies. That's a no.
I'm just telling you, puts me over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do the work to keep ourselves in check, because once again, when you start feeling the, the I don't know, it's like the little rumble in the middle of your belly, right? Or you start feeling like my shoulders are rising. What do I need to do? So these are certain things that will help you in that process. So number one is deep breath exercises. Breathing is just so underrated. I cannot tell you how many times during a stressful moment at work, right before an interview, something with family, I excuse myself, I go to the bathroom, and I take my breaths. So there's something called box breathing, which is inhaling deeply for 4 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
holding your breath for 4 seconds, exhale slowly for 4 seconds, and then hold again for four. And I remember I use this, for nervous system regulation, but also when Michael had COVID in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
had COVID pneumonia, he had it really bad. And they even said to him that if he would have had it in March when it first came out, he would have passed away.
Mm.
Really, really bad. And it has affected his lung capacity.
Hmm.
So he used to be, his oxygen would be up to 99. Now it's always hovering at like 95.
Hmm.
Still fine, but it's, lower than
Sure.
anticipated. So I will never forget. He came back from the hospital and I said, we're gonna do box breathing, because girl, I needed it. My nervous system was shot with everything that I went through with him,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted it to help strengthen his lungs. So every night we did box breathing every night. And I have to tell you, it really supported me during that very difficult time. And then, just the health benefits for him to
Mm-hmm.
strengthen his lungs and his capacity. So definitely this is a great tool to help with promoting calm and reducing stress.
I don't know much about it, but my mother-in-law mentioned something the other day that she was looking into for one of the grandkids. I believe it was called the Breathing Buddy.
Okay.
And it's something that you can use to help younger children to learn these breathing exercises to self-regulate. So maybe, for example, the parent's not always around, right? Then the child is taught to utilize this breathing buddy when they feel a particular way. So I'm going to look into it because, I know we do a lot of stuff for ourselves, but I'm a big advocate of not only doing things like this in front of my children, but talking to them about what it is and why I do it. Not forcing it on them or anything, but just leading by example. And then if they seem curious, then I'll say, oh, would you like to try this? Or if they're in a situation, I'll say, hey, let's try this together. And so, yeah, I don't know what the breathing buddy is, but maybe that's another good thing too for kiddos, because they can get stressed out during the holidays too, especially ones that get really overstimulated with change and having a ton of people over or going to a ton of places. And, I don't know.
Absolutely. And sugar and,
Ugh.
And if you are feeling like, if your heart is going, they feel your energy.
That's true.
So all of that. And I think I saw something which maybe be the breathing buddy, but it's like a stuffed animal or a toy
I
that
think that
breathes.
might be what it is. I'll have to
Yeah,
look it
and
up.
it expands and then it contracts, and the
I think
child is
so.
supposed to mimic the rhythm of the
Yep.
breath of the toy. So
Yep, that's what it is, and that's what it's
Mhm.
called. They even have them in, it looks like different animal themes too, if you need it. Oh, there's
That's
one that
great.
looks like Jesus. I could get it for Adam. It looks just like him.
I think it's perfect.
Because Adam looks like Jesus.
Christmas
Hold
gift.
on. Oh
Yes.
my God, this is so funny. Okay, don't let me get derailed.
No, but I
Okay.
could see myself using that too. Not for nothing.
Man, they
Like
have a
I
lot of
can see,
choices.
yeah, like keeping it on my lap during work and like feeling the breath kind of go up and down.
Yes.
Love that. So breathing exercises, that was just one. And obviously you can search up a bunch of breathing supports and help to get your nervous system to calm. But that's one that I've used myself.
So I don't know if you remember this, but if our shifties have not taken the what type of shifter quiz are you on our website, when you do that and you get your results, there are always two different style of breathing exercises that are linked for your shift style. And I did a lot of research on finding some good breathing exercises, and there's not many out there, believe it or not. As far as like videos go,
Yeah.
you usually have to buy like a course or
Mhm.
a membership of somebody's program, but the ones that are linked in our shift quiz for your shift style are really good. Some of them are all about the movement, and some of them are that vocal stuff. Some of them are very still.
Yes.
Like there's so many varieties. And so it's really cool to see what pairs with your shift style, because you could just start with that if you don't want to search it out and you don't know where to begin.
That's a great reminder. Absolutely. Next in our supporting your nervous system is gentle movement or stretching.
Mm,
So, yoga, tai chi, qigong, walking in nature. It's so important to incorporate all the modalities.
okay.
So, yes, we can journal, which is, writing and using some of that mental energy. And then obviously the breathing, which is supporting that mindfulness and steadiness. And here with the walking piece or the tai chi, it really helps with that rest and digest as opposed to fight or flight,
Mm-hmm.
because it's relieving some of that built up tension, and it's also activating the parasympathetic nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to be in a place where you're a little bit more at rest, even if you're doing movement. It's helping to move some of that energy through your body. So I think that's important to note.
And I want to recommend, so I have a handful of people in our world that don't have great mobility physically for different reasons. And I don't know if you know this, but there is chair yoga. So you could go to
Yes,
YouTube and you could look
yes,
up chair yoga, and you can do all these different types of stretches and things like that. If you have, limited range of motion or mobility, there are always modifications to different movements. So just because you might be able to not stand up because you need a cane or a walker, it doesn't mean you have to try downward dog and face plant. Like,
yep.
do something that is accommodating for your style.
Absolutely. Utilize those pools, if you
Oh,
have one or
yes,
a
because you're
neighborhood
weightless.
pool.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
all of that. Next one is grounding, touch, and sensory rituals. I need a lot of sensory rituals. That is just
Mm,
who I am. But anything from placing your hands in warm water, for me, it's my whole body. I need to take my baths.
yeah.
Holding a smooth stone, wrapping yourself in a soft blanket. I told
Mm,
you about the Himalayan salt foot lamp.
yes.
Having that heat just does something for me, and I'm a big fan of, heating pads that always just like when I'm working and I'm in that
Yes.
space, to have the physical reminder of relaxation
Hmm.
really does something for me.
Yeah, I use an infrared heating pad, which I'll never use a traditional heating pad again. I don't know if you've tried it, but
Mhm.
it does get multiple layers deep into the muscle. It's like going into like an infrared sauna. same benefits. And I actually have 3 of them because I have one in the living room, one next to my bed, and one that I take with me to my acupuncture appointments. So that when I'm on that table, right, and I'm gotta chill, that I put that underneath me and it soothes me and it helps me to relax fully into my therapy.
Yes.
But if I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go to sleep, I'll actually just turn on the heating pad and it just soothes me and it puts me right back to sleep.
Such a great idea. I cannot tell you, my sleep has been so odd and like disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought about putting the heating pad on when I can't sleep.
And
Thank you, friend.
if you get the infrared heating pad, you'll like it more because it's also bigger, but
Yes.
it's not like, I mean, it's just so different than the lame traditional heating pads. It's going to change your world.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. Awesome. The next, I have a couple of more to share. Next is self massage. So I am blessed with a husband that will, give me a massage at any time and just very giving and loving with that. I hold a lot of tension in my body, so like
Mm-hmm.
my lower back and things like that. So I have a foam roller, and
Mm.
it's not easy, but I really try to work out the tension in my body with it. So my lower back, up here in my shoulders, I went to the neurologist and she was doing some things, and she's like, "Holy moly, you're so tight." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I need to like take care of that because I've been dealing with some like head things." So I know, if a monthly massage is not in the budget, really look up. There are videos that you could do self massage. So take
Mm-hmm.
out those oils, do all those things, take a bath so that your muscles are already relaxed, and really physically work out on your body. And hopefully, you have someone that can help you with that.
You keep talking. I'm going to get a thing to show you what to use.
Girl. But yeah, so the massage piece of it, I feel like is in my world something that I need to support my that body mind's connection. What is that contraption?
So it's called a theracane. But you think about this, like right here, it goes on the sides of your spine, right? And you
Okay.
can stretch. But then you get pieces like this. Like if I need to get something in my back, I
Uh-huh.
do this and I put the slightest bit of pressure right here and it will get like that knot in your back. And so, I mean, because it's really hard, right? You do
Yes.
this and you're literally right here where my hand is, you're just putting a little pressure and look where that knot is.
That's
Like,
a yes.
and we call it the S hook, but it's called a theracane. And I've had this thing forever, but it's super hard. If you need to massage yourself and you have a tight muscle back there, I mean, typically I do acupuncture twice a month. And when I go do it, they do cupping. And that cupping sucks your muscle up into the glass bulb. And it literally, your muscles have to give in because there's no way that it can hold tension. And for me, it's better than a massage. But you can even order your own like silicone cupping set on Amazon if you can't, if it's not in the budget to like go to do something like that,
Sure.
then you can do it at home. But this
Yeah.
Theracane, oh girl, I'm just gonna keep doing this the rest of the time now that I
Oh,
got it
please.
out.
I'm gonna watch you do it the whole time.
I'm like,
Isn't it so fun when you're able to like share
oh,
resources and
it feels
like
so good. I'm like, thank you for reminding me for this self massage.
good, good. Well, I hope you continue that for the rest
Mm,
of the day to get all those muscles going.
yes.
And finally, there's also balancing and centering movements, right? So this is going to help promote like body awareness and reduction of like imbalances and anxiety. So I've told you, I got a vibration plate. I've been using that. I've been challenging myself with the vibration plate. So with the movement of it, I've made it a little stronger. I've done some like squats on it. I see people do like planks on it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see one day if I could try that. We'll
I'm
see.
like, how do you do that? It's not even that big.
Well, the one I have is a big one, right? And you could put your arms on it, and your feet
Okay.
are back, like if you're gonna do a
A
push
push
up
up? Okay.
on there, and then you just, blah, 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 blah. And
Hmm.
I'm intrigued by it. So Right now I recently got it within the last like month or so. So I've been, playing around with it some more. But that balancing piece, I think, is also important because it takes you out of your thoughts and really into your body.
That's true.
So I think that is another way to help support the nervous system. So, all right. So we talked about daily check-ins. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about the energy economy and the forecasts of your spirit. We talked about shift activations and how that's important in the journaling piece and really creating that space for yourself. Um, and then we talked about some of the physical things that you can do to help support your nervous
Mm-hmm.
system
Yeah.
so that you are walking each day of this holiday season in your strongest and brightest light. Now let's talk about moving from all of that information into what does this look like on a daily basis. Some people have a daily routine and a daily ritual.
I envy
And
those people.
right, right. And I like have weekly maybe rituals because I
Okay.
tend to take a bath, a few times a week. And that's definitely something that, especially if I'm feeling super overwhelmed,
Sure.
I get all the stuff. I make a little soak.
Oh, yes.
How important those soaks are, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
and our support with one another. But so when you think about it, you just want to make sure that you start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. This is not a something you're doing for work and you have to put it on the calendar. And if you don't get it,
Sure.
you're a loser. And if I didn't do my ritual today, you really
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that there is a sense of consistency as opposed to doing something Monday through Friday. So that's important. So make sure that you have that consistent thing. And then pick one or two rituals that really resonate with you. Lighting the candle, doing the breath work, doing the shift activations, creating playlists. There's just so many things that I can add to that.
And if you are like me and you can't really create a playlist, Sandra is like a secret DJ and she helps add to our Shift Sister playlist on Spotify. You guys can find it and follow it. There's the different shift type, like the shifter types playlist, but Sandra is knocking out so many playlists. We're going to have to come up with a DJ name for you.
Uh, I yes, girl, and I
DJ
love
Sister.
that. Yes. we I think it's just so important to have that support, and music has always been something that's supported me in my lifelong journey. And sometimes we forget that it is this other thing in our toolbox. So thinking about all the different rituals we described, and you're gonna and listeners are gonna have 10,000 other ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
Start thinking about how to incorporate that on a daily/weekly basis. So you might be the consistent type and say, every morning I'm going to set 5 minutes and I'm going to do a quick journal on gratitude for the day.
Okay.
Or I'm going to do a affirmation when I'm brushing my teeth as I look at myself in the mirror every day.
Mm-hmm.
So some people want that kind of every day has to be on my calendar, and that's okay if that's where you want to start. But you want to also just make sure it's doable. You don't want to like knock yourself off if you don't, get if you don't meet all of your goals. So you want to make sure it is something that you can do. What were you were
I
gonna say?
have a funny thing because I'm thinking about everything you're saying and it's, calculating in my brain. And I'm thinking about these rituals and the routines. And I'm also remembering what you said in the beginning about, I have to look at my notes here, but it's about incorporating the rituals into a task. And I do things that I don't think about sharing with other people. I just do it. And it also makes me think about the affirmations of what you were saying, right? Well, I was telling Dr. Courtney when I was at acupuncture how when I put on my moisturizer, right, my face moisturizer in the bathroom, it's something I do regularly. I'm going to show you guys. It's so silly, but it works. No. So I squat down and I'm in this warrior position. Okay. Yes. And I close my eyes and I'm putting on my moisturizer and I'm swaying back and forth like I'm going to war. and I am seeing my strength, and I'm putting on my war paint and my protection and the beauty and the artisticness of it. And I'm putting it in, and I'm literally, so I'm technically doing a lunge at the same time because that's about the only exercise I'm going to do. But I am harnessing this warrior energy. And she was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And I'm like, is it?
It is.
I don't know.
It's, girl, when you're saying that, right? And I'm totally inspired now. So first of all, we talked about the balancing exercises to kind of get you into your body. So thinking about the lunging
it's all
there.
in one.
Yes. And then it's just building that confidence, and it's putting you in that mental space of like, I'm ready to take on the day. And I'm gonna do it with all of my heart and whatever that looks like. And then you're also taking care of your skin. I love it. It's like a 3-for-1.
All of it. Yep.
Amazing. So we had talked about this, and you had brought this up about the smoke breaks.
Yeah. The not smoking smoke breaks, people.
The not smoking smoke breaks.
Whenever we say smoke breaks, we're not really talking about smoking.
Yes. But it is important, please, to take a break in the day throughout your day. You can say, today I'm going to take 3 to 4 breaks. And that doesn't mean slacking off for an hour on your phone, doom scrolling.
Correct.
That means, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to walk away from what I'm doing if it gives me that pause. And I'm going to make myself a chamomile tea. I am going to stop. I'm going to go into the bathroom of my office, and I'm going to do a box breathing.
Yes.
I am going to stop and take a 10-minute nap so that I can refresh myself, because I want to finish this project, but I need to refresh my mental energy. Whatever you can do, that's obvious. Whatever you can do throughout the day, really think about, what are those little breaks that I can take they're not going to, weigh you down. And then what needs to happen throughout those breaks to truly support you? Because my 15-minute break may look very different than your 15-minute break. So that is truly important. I work from home, and I said to myself, I need to go out and get sunshine.
Yeah.
So I'll go outside and just soak it all in. So once again, it depends on what your needs are individually.
Yeah, your shift break should really just be intentional.
Yes, exactly. And then there's also, so we talked about morning rituals, like the gratitudes and things like that. And during the day, those breaks. And then at the end of the day, think about evening rituals that help support, because remember, we really want to support that nervous system, support a peaceful entry into repose. So think about, journal entries, shift activations at that time. Maybe it's just lighting a candle or doing some of the breathing that we talked about. And also, there's the baths and all of that. So think about what you're doing in the evening is going to set you up for success at night. So if you are not supporting that nervous system and it's in fight or flight, you're going to sleep like that as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I am definitely someone that needs to attend to this, because I've slept with like my fists in balls, because I'm just not in that space to receive sleep. And I know that sounds odd, but it truly is. You got to set it up for success. So those are, some of the things that you can do. So the importance of consistency is that it's not perfect. It's that you do enough of it to support you. So don't beat yourself up. Make sure that you do what you can to incorporate it. So you talked about, Jennifer, putting it on your calendar. You might put it on your calendar every day, but then you might actually do the activations or do the work 3 to 4 times a week, as opposed to 7 days a week. So really just reward yourself for the consistency that you're showing. Personalization and flexibility, as we mentioned, you have to really reflect on, as we talked about, what are your boundaries in the other episode. So it's stopping to say, what are the things that really feed me and really give me that opportunity for reset, and list those out. So you have your peace toolbox. So now you're going to have your ritual toolbox, right? What are the things that truly speak to me that help me during this time? So, some things to help you out is to set reminders. We talked about putting it on your calendar, create a ritual checklist. So, just write down a few practices, and just whenever you do it, you can just track it for yourself to say, okay, I was able to do this until it becomes habit. And then pair rituals with existing habits. So, my friend here with the mask and the lunging, she was already doing it before she even thought about it. I had talked about, I use the heating mat pad or the foot lamp during work time, or the grounding mat, so that it's a ritual that I'm doing and it's supporting me while I'm doing other things as well.
Yeah. Well, too, I think you mentioned about being flexible or like customizing. Not everybody's a bath person, and I get it, but guess what? Everybody loves to have their foot soaked, right?
Yeah.
And you don't even have to have a special fancy like foot soak tub. You can get like a $2 little bin from Walmart and do some Epsom salts and hot water and things like that. You can get shower steamers.
Oh, those are the
And
best.
those are amazing too. Like adjust it to customize what fits for you, because just because we love baths and we find tons of benefit in it doesn't mean that there's not a customization that wouldn't fit for everybody.
Absolutely. Yes, for sure. So remember that ritual lifestyle's a journey, and you need to just be mindful with it, be gentle with yourself. Don't take this as some sort of like,
Have
let's
fun.
get it off the list. Yes, have fun.
Yes.
And I always love when I have those moments of, oh, I can actually, do a 10-minute meditation in the middle of my day. Because for me, those types of moments make me feel like $1,000,000. I get out of those meditations and I feel like I slept for like 3 hours. So as you are cultivating your ritual diet of things, right, and your menu of things, just make sure that you are really listening into, what does my body need? What does my emotions and my mind need? And they will tell you if you're listening, if you are listening, because I think when I do my meditations, my body is saying I need more rest and I need more sleep. So when I do them, I feel super refreshed, because your body is like, thank you. It's like the dehydrated, body. You drink that electrolyte water and you put in the Celtic sea salt, and you just feel like, oh, I'm just so quenched. Thank you. Your liver and your kidneys and your skin are just thanking you.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, so that is the overview of the importance of rituals, the importance of daily check-ins, some of the physical things you can help to take you out of fight and flight, and how to start creating your ritual diet, your ritual menu. So, with that being said, and talking about rituals, let's talk about a couple of shift activations.
Please.
Yes. So, these are just going to create the space for you to start exploring what your rituals are. So, first one is to create a ritual list. So, write down 3 to 5 rituals that nourish you. And that can be in any category. So, physically, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, and commit to practicing at least one daily for several times throughout the week. So that can help get you going, because sometimes people get stuck and they're like, I don't know where to get started. I don't know what I like. I'm not really a bath person. Like, start sitting down and thinking about, okay, body and mind and soul, what is it that you need? And we're going to provide some of the examples that we shared, and you can pull from some of that. Sometimes that's always a good starting point, and maybe adjust some of that. You talked about, not taking a full bath, do a foot bath, as you said. So you customize it to what makes sense for you.
And it's great to habit stack, right? So, for example, say you're a big water drinker and that's your thing, but you've never incorporated electrolytes into that. Grab yourself a bag of Celtic sea salt, keep it right next to where you get your water from, and you literally do the smallest pinch, and you're stacking it on top of a habit already. If you're putting moisturizer on your face, it doesn't take or cost anything else to do a squat. get in warrior pose and feel the energy, right, of the strength that you're harnessing of whatever that is. So like you can do it on top of things that you're doing already too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's you know, those minor shifts are things
Mhm.
that we don't, it's not in our face, but
Mhm.
once you start doing that, the accumulation of that and the
Big
cumulative
time.
benefits of that, amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. So another activation is a journal prompt, and it's related to the season.
Okay.
So if I could create a new holiday ritual that nurtures my
Mm.
well-being, what could it be? And why would it be meaningful for me? So, I am a sucker for like holiday scents. So I love like the smell of cranberry and mint and, all of that. So for me, it's like, can I use some of those scents in my baths?
The
Or
sense that shift, baby.
yes, yes. So, what are some of those holiday rituals that
Mhm.
we can put together? And, thinking about all the different ways that you support your nervous system. So maybe you do a collective, meditation with your family. And that's like a new ritual that you do, or you do a journal prompt with your family and you sit around in community and you do that.
Mhm.
And you talked about the journal exchange.
Oh, girl, I already have a big idea we're going to talk about after this podcast. I'm like, I have so many notes about this. I'm like, do you know what we're about to start? It's going to be awesome. But that's the behind the scenes stuff that nobody
Yeah, all
sees.
the behind the
Okay.
scenes stuff. So creating those rituals, and you may be able to create a new ritual, a tradition, I mean, for your holiday season. So now it may prompt you to say, okay, every October, end of October, getting into November, these are the things that I'm going to start incorporating to support that holiday shift. So just keep that in mind. And the last thing is, let's, as you had mentioned, putting it on your calendar. So creating those reminders and those ways to just put it on the forefront, because we tend to minimize the importance of that, that self-pouring and getting back to ourselves, that
Mhm.
sometimes we just have to put in our calendar until
Yeah.
it becomes a non-negotiable in your life,
Yeah.
so that you're not overwhelmed. So make sure to put that in, and also do a daily check-in as well. That
Mhm.
is, I think, one of the things that is super important, because your daily check-in will sometimes even determine the success of your day.
Mhm.
Because if you don't know where your energy reserves are, you're not going to be able to kind of pivot what needs to happen in order to support where you are.
Exactly. That's why I ended up loving the energy currency tracker. And I know that, the way I designed it initially was for, everybody to just do that first 1 week check in.
Mhm.
But I actually use it now every week because it has helped me to see the patterns of where I'm at in the morning, where I'm at the end of the day, and then all the things I'm logging that happened that were, you know, a routine expected thing, and then all the things that were out of character. And it's crazy to see where my numbers are morning
Yeah.
and night for an entire week, because
Yes.
then I can really see, like, wow, I need to give attention to these days. I need to design and enforce some boundaries in these departments, especially on these days.
Yeah.
Like, it has helped me to be able to analyze and really audit what needs to be adjusted so that I can be more consistent all the way through. But check-ins, it's vital. Like, I can't wait now in the morning. I love waking up, and we're going to make an app. I'm putting it in there. I swear I'm going to.
You're doing it.
Yep.
So think about all the things that we just talked about in this one episode,
Mm,
right? So
so
with the
many.
shift activations and the bath soaks and the oils that we share, the playlists and all of the supports that you can walk into with this new season of overwhelm, sometimes overindulgence, overworking yourself.
Yeah.
Take that sacred time. And as we close this episode, I just want to remind everyone that these are sacred acts of self-love. This is a connection to your physical body, your spiritual body, and this world as well.
You mean you're allowed to love yourself? You don't have to just love other people? It's so weird. I thought you had to be like selfish to love yourself and to give yourself routines. That's so weird. You speak blasphemy, woman.
What a radical act, right?
So radical.
It's just not something that is on our forefront. And now our goal is to put it in bright, shining letters for all of our listeners to know that you are so important. And this is what we're going to do, right?
Yep.
And we are inviting everyone to do the same as well. So I would love to hear about everyone's rituals. I want to learn. Jen, I know you always want to learn.
Always.
So if you have specific rituals that you have incorporated in your daily life, if there are rituals that we didn't share, we would love to hear that. So hop onto our socials, share that there. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know where you are in the process. Are you starting off? Are you starting to create your little menu of rituals? Are you putting it into your calendar? We'd love to hear where you are in the process, what rituals you incorporate, any recipes. So that could be a silk recipe, that could be a drink recipe, a mocktail, any of those things that will help not only yourself, but others. And I'm a big fan of sharing.
Yep.
So the more we share, we can grow together in a community and really support one another. Now, my friends, go out, take a wonderful deep breath, and know that you always have us to support you during this holiday season. And that's it for today's shift. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us. If you're loving the conversation, become a shifty. Like, follow, subscribe, and most of all, share this episode with someone who's shifting too, or someone who seriously needs to get their shift together.
Do you have thoughts, questions, topic requests, or maybe you're feeling the nudge to collaborate? Visit us at shiftsisterpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're so grateful for your presence, your friendship, and your willingness to do the work with us. Because shift happens and we're not meant to do it alone.
We'll meet you back here next time to breathe, reflect, and talk shift.